Good evening and welcome to a special edition of the American Forum. I'm Jane Hall. I'm a professor in the School of Communication. This is my Politics in the Media class. I have future journalists, future political strategists, future political candidates. It's a great group of students, and we're here with Ed O'Keefe of the Washington Post. Ed is a wonderful journalist who has been covering Congress and presidential politics since 2008. He went to the Washington Post first as a homepage editor in 2005. He briefly covered the war in Iraq. He was also the reporter for the Federal Eye, which was a blog that followed federal agencies. In the 2008 presidential campaign, he was one of the first Post reporters to blog, vlog, video, report from the campaign. And then in 2016, he covered Marco Rubio, Jeb Bush, in the Republican field. And on election night, he anchored 8 hours of live coverage newscasts from the Washington Post. As all of you know, Ed has been all over the front page recently. He is considered one of the most thoughtful and productive reporters covering Congress. I think that's true, and I've seen it written, so it is definitely true.
All right.
And he does wonderful analysis as well as his broken news about what's going on in Congress, from the DREAM Act to healthcare, and also the relationship between Congress and President Trump. What's interesting to me in terms of thinking about these young people is that he got started in journalism at a very early age, summarizing the newspaper for his father at the breakfast table. And then as a teenager, he had a newsletter for his immediate family called O'Keefe, etc. Early branding, early knowledge of what is needed on that. So obviously Ed was destined to be here at American University. He's a 2005 graduate of the School of Public Affairs with a bachelor's degree in political science. We claim him here in SOC very selfishly, but also because he has spoken to this class many times and is a wonderful role model for our students. So here we are. Welcome, Ed.
I was probably earned enough credit
to be an adjunct
to your class. No, to like have earned a communications degree.
You probably did. You probably did. So anyway, we're very, very glad to see you. These students have had some wonderful questions. I'm going to start us off and then go to a few questions.
Sounds good.
Okay, so one thing I was thinking about was Senator Susan Collins was here a year ago, and she talked about how it felt like Groundhog Day, the movie where the same thing keeps happening and nobody remembers that it ever happened, in terms of trying to get anything done in Congress. I just wonder, what do people in Congress that you talk to say about how they feel about it? Do you see any way out of the logjam and the hyperpartisanship?
Not yet, although there are signs of it when it comes to the issue of what to do about dreamers in this country. There was at least a breakthrough there, not only because it's a compelling and an urgent policy and political matter, but also because they're starving for progress, starving for anything that demonstrates that they're doing their job. It's been Groundhog Day all summer long, really watching Republicans at least try to do health care. And I think a lot of Americans share the president's frustration when he says that I was expecting to have a bill on my desk on day one ready to sign, because Republicans have been telling us that for 7 years they were ready, willing, and able to repeal the Affordable Care Act, and here it is September, and they haven't been able to do that. So, you know, we'll see. She's somebody, Susan Collins, who has held out of concern. But also holds out because she knows that in order for Congress as an institution and the country, frankly, to function, you need both parties working together. And she's been one that's tried to do that in the past, maybe not as much on health care, but understands that taking things too far to the left or too far to the right is detrimental to the system.